Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another collection pickup video. Comic book edition. This is all the comic books that I picked up the last time I went to my comic book store, for the last time. As you saw in the previous video to this, I went to pick up my comic books because the comic book store I go to was closing down. They were going to switch to a different location. But I was still bummed out that store is closing. Like I mentioned before, that I've been going to that store for the last 13 years, and I was really sad to hear that it was closing down. Even though I'll still be able to go, I figure out where the new location is going to be. So it's actually a lot closer than the store I used to go to. But again, it's the sentimental value that store has been a big part of my life, and to see it close down was really sad. Really sad. But I was able to pick up all the monthly comic books that they had on hold for me, and they had a sale on some back issues, so I picked up some of those. The back issues were very thin. All the good stuff was already in boxes, but still picked up a few things here and there. So, like always, I wanted to share the video on the pickups. Like I said, this is the last pickup video from the comics and stuff in National City. But let's get started. Picked up Age of Apocalypse issue 13. They defeated Weapon Omega, and the Resistance is cleaning up. Wolverine, or Weapon X, is hunting down all his lieutenants, and he's trying to redeem himself. Jean Grey has moved on with her life, and everyone in the Age of Apocalypse is kind of doing their own thing. But the Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler is desperate to get back to his own homeworld. He got stuck in Universe 616 after teaming up with X-Force, and this is going to be a big crossover called X-Termination that crosses over between Age of Apocalypse, Astonishing X-Men, Extreme X-Men, and two one-shots called X-Termination. So, yeah, the premise looks interesting. I want to see how that works out. Then I picked up Superior Spider-Man, issue 5. Doc Ock Spidey is hunting down Massacre. And this is a big turning point for Doc Ock Spidey, because he kills Massacre. Like the cover show, he takes a gun and kills the guy. So J. Jonah Jameson is happy about it, but Ghost Spidey is not. He's really horrified about what's going on. And that follows up in Superior Spider-Man issue 6, where Screwball and I don't know who this guy is, the Jester, they pull some pranks and they kind of tease Doc Ock Spidey, but then he goes crazy and beats them up really bad, and the Avengers see this and they think it's time to bring in Spidey Ock to for questioning, because his methods have changed and he's a lot more brutal. So people are catching on that there's something wrong with Spidey. But the next issue 7, is going to cross over with Age of Ultron, so this is going to be put on hold until then. Picked up Thunderbolts. I really like the covers in Thunderbolts. This is issue 6. The Punisher and Elektra get it on, and the Thunderbolts complete their mission. But now, next issue, they're going to have a ride on a sub to get back home, so tensions are mounting. I like Thunderbolts. I like the cast. I like Elektra. I like Venom. I like the Punisher and Deadpool. Red Hulk, I've never really liked the character. And, yeah, but it seems to be that there's a lot of tension in the group, and I still think they need one more female character. But I still dig the book. Picked up Avengers issue 7 by Jonathan Hickman. And some wide event, they call it. A wide event happens, and this normal kid gets superpowers, and that follows up in issue 8. So the Hulk and Thor and Hyperion are trying to stop this superpowered kid, and they're getting their ass whooped. It's until Captain Universe steps in that they're able to stop this kid. But yeah, Hickman's building up a lot of things here. Picked up Venom issue 32. Flash Thompson is still trying to make a life for himself, and he's fighting this guy that was experimented on. But by the end of the issue, Eddie Brock, who's possessed by the toxin symbiote, reaches Philadelphia, so they're going to have a big fight, which I'm looking forward to that. Picked up Age of Ultron issue 1. I don't know if you'll be able to make it out with the glare, but it has a chromium cover. It's been a while since I've seen a chrome cover on a comic book, but I don't know if this is supposed to be present day, or if it's a near future thing, or if it's an alternate world situation. But Ultron comes in and he pretty much wipes out the human race. A few heroes are left here and there, but they're infected by something called an Ultron virus. Things are pretty bad for the heroes. They're being hunted down. This is issue 2. And yeah, again, I don't know if this is happening right now, or if it's in the future, or if it's an alternate timeline. But the premise seems interesting, even though, you know, this is very similar to Days of Future Past or Age of Apocalypse. But so far, it's been a good read. Picked up Batman issue 18. All of the 18 issues are actually dealing with the aftermath of Batman Incorporated issue 8. Apparently, Damian is dead. He got killed on that issue, but it's been done before. He's been killed at least twice already, but apparently this time's a really dead kind of dead, or as dead as you can be in comic books. And Batman and the whole Bat family are dealing with the aftermath, and I don't know, I don't like this in the sense that all of the Bat family was going through a Death in the Family, that big crossover with the Joker, and the death of Damian Wayne happened on an other book that had nothing to do with that, so that was kind of weird. But this is Batman and Robin issue 18. This is very similar to the Nuff Said issues that Marvel put out a couple of years ago. This has no words, no text bubbles, just a very silent issue. And it was done pretty well, but it's a really crazy fast read. Picked up Green Lantern issue 18, part 5 of The Wrath of the First Lantern. And Sinestro, Hal Jordan, and Simon Baz are trying to escape from the dead zone that Black Hand threw them in. And then this is Green Lantern New Guardians issue 18. The First Lantern is still messing around with everyone's emotions, trying to power himself up. He turns Saint Walker into a Green Lantern. He turns Larfleeze into a Blue Lantern, and he's messing around with Starfire's love for Hal Jordan. So, since I'm missing a lot of parts, that crossover kind of doesn't make any sense. Picked up Wonder Woman issue 18. Wonder Woman and Orion are finally able to save the baby that Zeus gave life to. So, yeah, this one actually ends on a happy note. Picked up a Justice League issue 18. This is basically just showcasing how Cyborg recruited the new Justice League of America and dealing with the aftermath of the whole Throne of Atlantis storyline. Picked up Simpsons Comics issue 200. This is the big anniversary issue. It's not as big as other anniversary issues. It's thicker than normal, but this is the big 200th issue of Simpsons Comics, and it has a really cool wraparound cover. It has Zoidberg there on the back, But yeah, picked up the one-shot of Professor Frink, Fantastic Science Fictions. Parts of it come in 3D, but it's that old 3D that had the red and blue glasses. Picked up Superman 17, featuring the conclusion of Hell on Earth. And this actually leaves everything in a really bad spot, because Hell is actually transported to the past, back to Krypton. So who knows what kind of chaos that guy's gonna make. Picked up Smallville Season 11, Issue 11. Have not read this one yet. Picked up Swamp Thing Issue 18, an epilogue to the Rot World storyline. They finally, Swamp Thing is able to travel back in time to the point before Anton kills Abigail, however you pronounce her name, and they're finally able to stop Anton Arcane. So, really, really good issue there. Picked up Uncanny X-Men Issue 3. Have not read that one, so I can't say much about that. Picked up Before Watchmen Issue 4 of Rorschach, thus concluding this Watchmen miniseries. And picked up Issue 6 of Ozymandias. Just one more issue that they didn't ship out, which is the Comedian one, and the whole Watchmen miniseries experiment will be done. And yeah, once everything's done and I get that issue, I'll give my final thoughts on that. Picked up Artifacts Issue 26. Beautiful cover, I think, there, with the progeny. Picked up Witchblade Issue 164. Another beautiful cover there. This is actually Progeny Part 2. Picked up the new Wolverine series, just called Wolverine Issue 1. I picked this one up because I'm a huge fan of Alan Davis. I love his artwork, and he's doing the artwork for this comic book. Have not read it yet. Picked up Savage Wolverine Issue 3. Again, I just got back from the comic book shopping. I've kind of read some of them on my way here, but I haven't read all of them. I haven't even put backboards on them. And I picked up Wolverine and the X-Men Issue 26. And Dog, Wolverine's brother from the Origin miniseries, is back in Wolverine's life. Apparently he also has a healing factor, but a future version of himself traveled back in time to give him the weapons that he's going to need to take out Wolverine. So that's actually very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Dog. And like I said, picked up some back issues at the comic book store. I picked up issue 580 of Fantastic Four, because I want to get the Hickman run that he had on Fantastic Four. And in this one, Johnny Storm and Franklin visit a toy store that's run by Arcade and the Impossible Man. So this was a good issue. I enjoyed this one. It was $1. All of these books were $1. Was able to get my hands on some amalgam I was missing. This is Challengers of the Fantastic, where they fuse the Fantastic Four and the Challengers of the Unknown. And they go up against Galactiac, which is the amalgam of Galactus and Brainiac. I thought that was actually pretty awesome. Picked up Thorion of the New Asgods, where they fuse Orion and Thor. Really good issue. I enjoyed this one a lot, and I've been trying to track down these amalgam books. Picked up the Bat Thing, where they fuse the Man Thing and the Man Bat. Another really good issue. I enjoyed this one. Now I'm only missing Lobo the Duck from the second wave and Amazon from the first wave, and I'll own all the amalgam books. Picked up Tales of the Witchblade issue 1. This is a collection of 2 issues that talk about the previous bearers of the Witchblade. But I picked this one up because I love the Michael Turner cover. Really awesome cover, so I couldn't pass it up for $1. This one was really disappointed. I thought this was a reprint of Wolverine 1, Punisher 1, and Ghost Rider. but it's actually one of those wiki kind of things. They have cover images and a very brief description of the Wolverine miniseries, of the Punisher miniseries, and the Ghost Rider miniseries. And then they talk about the comic books from issue 1 to issue 35, or of the first volumes of each character. So it's one of those wiki kind of things. I thought it was going to be a reprint of the first issue of each one. So I might get rid of that. I might give that away because I didn't like it. Picked up Just Imagine Stan Lee's Shazam. This is an experiment that DC and Stan Lee had, where Stan Lee would reimagine the DC characters with his own twist. I like what he did with Superman and Batman and Justice League. And I've been trying to track down the rest of these, but I've seen these. The original cover price were $6. I've been trying to track down the rest of the books Stan Lee did for DC. But again, they've been really hard to find, and when I see them, they're really expensive. But I found this baby for $1, so couldn't pass that up. Picked up an issue I was missing. This is issue 2 of Excalibur. I'm trying to complete my Age of Apocalypse collection, and I picked this one up. I needed it. It was really cool to see for me to find it there. I picked up the first issue of The Brave and the Bold, featuring Batman and Green Lantern. This was written by Mark Waid with artwork by George Perez. And I've seen the rest of the issues, but I don't like picking up, or I try to avoid picking up books or series that are already started. So they had issue 1 there, and I picked it up because not only does it have artwork by George Perez, but it has Batman and Green Lantern, so I picked that one up. And I picked up issue 2, at least it says it's issue 2, featuring Green Lantern and Supergirl. Same thing, written by Mark Waid with artwork by George Perez. So I think I'm going to track down the rest of the issues for Brave and the Bold, at least the relaunch that happened, because I've seen some of those books go for a good price, and it's written by Mark Waid. Mark Waid does really good work, and the artwork by George Perez I know is going to be awesome. And I've seen a couple of Brave and the Bold that have some really cool crossovers. So I'm going to track these babies down now that I have issue 1 and 2. So yeah, that was the last comic book pickup video from that store. Again, really disappointed to see the thing go, but I know where the next location is going to be, so I'll still pick up my comic books. It's just that seeing that store close was really disappointing. But like always, I like to make a recommendation of the haul. As far as old books, I'm going to recommend the Amalgam books. They were a really interesting experiment that DC and Marvel did, and for the most part, all of the books were pretty awesome. So yeah, I'll recommend the Amalgam books. And as far as the regular monthly ones, I'm gonna go with, again, since I haven't read all of them, I'm gonna go with Swamp Thing, because this is the one I enjoyed out of the whole bunch. So if you haven't gotten into Swamp Thing, give it a chance. It has some interesting things to look into, and it does focus and feature a lot of Swamp Thing's past, so I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, that was the comic book pickup video. Like always, thanks so much to everyone that watched. Please leave a comment or a recommendation. I enjoy hearing back from you guys, and when I get a message, I like talking back to you. But until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78, signing off.